This is round 3 of the Rd3 Mini Challenge delivered by Pizza Capers from Queensland Raceway. For Race 3, Series champ Paul Stokel was desperate to reel in Chris Alajajan's extending championship lead.
Off and running to turn 1, Alajajan inside, Stokel outside, and it's not a place you want to be.
No, certainly not. Does the rest of the field fall into line through turn 1, but we can see quite graphically on the run down there the bumps that these cars are bouncing over as we see Stokel now trying to go around the outside at turn 2. Couldn't get the job done as they bounce their way out of turn 2 for the run down to turn 3.
Check out the bucking Broncos on the exit of 2, and look at them all covering the inside at turn 3. Gavin York, the Squawking Magpie Wines Mini from New Zealand, is the only Kiwi. He's got 15 Aussies
in that. See here Canto getting up the inside of Sean Carter for the run up onto the front straight, and 2x2 racing, very much a trademark of the Mini. Sean Carter on board now. We can just about look over and touch. We can adjust Dean Canto's mirror for him if we really needed to.
I don't think he'd appreciate that somehow. Luff goes through on Stokel for second, Canto through on Carter, but all the while these 4 are fighting. Alajajan's driving away.
He is, so Alajajan exactly what he would have hoped for. Wants to get his head down now. Some nice clean laps and enable him to get away from this battling pack for second place.
And all of the drivers who come from V8 supercars and the Light to Mini Challenge, the one thing that gets their attention is about now. The brakes are awesome.
They are small cars, big brakes relative to what they are. See, Canto tried to go a bit late on the brakes there actually, so really trying to maximise the braking capability of these cars. We see now actually Peter McNevins made the gap over towards the front running pack, and now he's looking up the inside.
He's picked up the backing of supercharged batteries for the rest of 2010. Has been a big surprise packet, the Victorian, in this championship. Now he's down the inside on Sean Carter, and that's a move that he's going to be able to pull off. It's on, down to turn 3. Sean Carter trying to get back at Peter McNevin. He's gone very deep in there and wiped out Dean Canto.
Poor Dean Canto doing nothing wrong there. Sean Carter just way too late on the brakes in the turn 3.
John Magro under pressure from Chris Wooden. The fight for 7th and 8th. I'm hearing tyres squealing. I'm not seeing a car. Oh, there it is. Peter McNevin facing the wrong way and finds reverse too.
Trying to do the old Knight Rider flick turn and get it going again.
Gavin York under fire here. John Magro closing in. The Kiwi has it stepped out at turn 1, and with the front wheel drive car, the best way to get out of that, keep it nailed. A last minute deal this weekend for Sarah Harley from here in Queensland, debuting in the Mini Challenge, driving a car run by McElrea Racing, which is also running the car that Warren Luff's driving this weekend. We go on board with Peter McNevin. Of course, the top speed, less than a V8 supercar, but the braking distance is a lot different.
Much shorter braking distance, probably braking around the 100-metre mark down at turn 3 there, whereas in the supercar, it's more like 150 metres. So that's how they generate their lap speed. It's all about late braking and keeping up corner momentum.
Peter McNevin has come from driving an ex-V8 supercar in the V8 Touring Car Series in Victoria. He's come from nowhere and is competing for the championship. It's quite amazing.
Well, some driving styles really suit this type of car, and a momentum-based driving style like you see in a Mini doesn't necessarily work in a V8 supercar, so certainly Peter's found something that really agrees with what he's driving.
Down into turn 6, this is the final corner. Harley runs wide, that car goes straight ahead, and it did not slow down, bounces off the tyre barrier, and up and over it goes. Red flag, this race will be stopped. Let's have a look again. And this was a strange one.
It was very strange. You just see a little bit of a wiggle on the car as it went to turn in, but there's no slowing down of that car. I would imagine there's some sort of ABS brake failure or something failed us there, because that car did not wash off any speed before it hit that tyre barrier.
Let's have a look again from on board with McNevin. Brakes go on. Car doesn't slow down. Sarah realises quickly it's not stopping, avoids the car in front. That was a good job, and then she's a passenger. The tyre wall does its job.
Yeah, I was coming into turn 6, and you know, I realised that I was having a problem, so I just wanted to try and avoid the other car that was ahead of me, and then I knew I was in the grass, and I knew the wall was coming, so I thought we just got to brace for this, and I just sort of dealt with it, and I knew it was bigger than I'd had before, and I thought, yeah, this is going to hurt, and before I knew it, on the lid, but it's just a testament to the cars that an impact like that, it's going to happen in motorsport, but yeah. I'm happy to have it behind me.
For the second time this weekend, a race was cut short. Chris Alajajan making it 2 from 3. Despite Alajajan's dominance in races 2 and 3, his points exclusion from qualifying meant that Warren Luff and Paul Stokel would be the main contenders vying for round honours heading into the final race.
It's even Stevens. The grid form up is how they run through turn 1. Alajajan, Luff, Stokel going with them. Luke Yulden. There's Gavin York, the Kiwi, in the black Mini. Stephen Bradbury monstered by Peter McNiven, who's already making up ground.
Yeah, McNiven making a big fight back, as we see here. Stephen Bradbury getting a run out of turn 2, but McNiven fighting back from his spin in the third race.
He skates pretty well, doesn't he, the Mini? He's done a bit of V8 ute racing. He's sampled the Mini Challenge before, and he's eyeing off.
He's not waiting for the last lap, is he?
No, it's worked before they were here. He might not ever get to do that again, but he's got the move back on Peter McNiven. Fight at the front, Stokel in third. Look at the way these cars jump off the bumps at turn 1, out wide. Easy to do. Brendan Cook with Stephen Bradbury, the Pizza Capers Mini, down the inside. Oh, there's more. Peter McNiven's going for the ride as well.
Stephen Bradbury very, very quick through turn 2, and that enables him to carry this long run down the back straight, and he's pulling a gap on these two.
Turn 3, one of the best overtaking spots on this track. Brendan Cook from a long way back. Stephen Bradbury played that very, very well. If he turned in, he was probably going to get hit.
It was curtains for both of them, so just check the mirrors before turning in. Ran the car a little wide as we go on board with Stephen, and just wanting to will the Mini on as much as he can on the run up to turn 3.
And McNiven, again, going for the ride, so he's letting Bradbury do all the work.
Yeah, great battle between these three, giving each other plenty of room, but racing nice and hard.
Sean Carter closing in here. Started down the back, failed to finish race 3 after that contact with Dean Canto. Running on the inside of Brendan Cook. Giving one another racing room. Good stuff here. And it's a drag race to turn 1.
Drag race to turn 1. Sean Carter certainly in the better position, being on the inside as we get towards turn 1. Go over the bumps on the braking area into turn 1, and Cook gives way, and Sean Carter completes that pass nice and cleanly.
Luke Yulden under a bit of pressure here from Chris Wooten. The fight for 4th. We'll see Luke later in the year with Ford Performance Racing again at Phillip Island and Bathurst in the V8 Enduros. He and Dean Canto have been in business together with a bit of a stunt driving school. I reckon they might have to apply some of that this weekend.
Well, there's been a bit of stunt driving going on in the Minis this weekend, so certainly those blokes have been teaching a few tricks, as we see Yulden back up the inside for turn 4. Chris Wooten trying to do the over and under trick into turn 5. Is he in there? Smallest of contact, and Luke felt he was there. He's tried the new 4-wheel drive Mini out as he exits turn 5 for the run down to turn 6.
That could have been a whole lot worse there. We've seen plenty of cars not make it through that corner together. Yulden, though, has to give up the spot. Wooten's through. Chris Alajajan looking comfortable out in front. He has certainly come to play this weekend. The championship leader, Luff second, Stokel third. But this has brought Stokel back into the championship picture. It
certainly has. Alajajan missing out really in race 1 has cost him a small amount of his points lead, but he's fought back incredibly well to go on to win the last 3 races of the weekend. Has been a great result, and with Warren Luffer finishing second and Paul Stokel third, they really were the form guys for the weekend.
Checkered flag on the Mini Challenge at Queensland Raceway, and Chris Alajajan takes the round win in round 3. Luff in second from Stokel. And Alajajan, the fastest lap of the race, 1:24.26, back on lap 4. Yulden 5th from Magro. Stephen Bradbury, great drive in 7th. And Sean Carter rounds out the top 10. But staying consistent has landed Warren Luff the round win, even without winning a race. Stokel and Alajajan round out the podium.
Yeah, qualifying was important with Chris Alajajan losing his points. That must have given you an edge in the overall round results.
Yeah, I think it came down to between Paul and myself into that last race. Whoever finished ahead on the road was going to win the round. So yeah, obviously very happy. I made a few bad starts in the first couple of races, which probably cost us a little bit as well. So got it together today, and yeah, very excited.
So Paul Stokel is the big mover, jumps from 5th to 2nd. The margin of Alajajan is just 40.